Thank you guys for watching the Animal One Guys YouTube channel. If you like my content, leave a comment down below. Ask me questions, let me know what you liked about it. And hey, click on the little like button. But please, if you want, go ahead and subscribe, because it helps my channel out. That way you can stay up to date with all my videos. And if you want, click on the bell icon to get notified. Right? Right? Huh? 1 out of 2. Not bad. Hey, Reptile Rescue family. In today's video, we're going to be talking about keeping your reptiles healthy, especially female reptiles, and what I think may be leading to the cause of egg binding. So, for this instance, I have 3 pretty cold savanna monitors. Filming this early in the morning, but the thought was to get out here and film this after I've had some other reptiles in this area so we can see some substrate and everything, to go over what I do, even though I've done this in some videos before. But this is important for bearded dragons, it's important for monitor lizards, it's important for snakes, males, but I think especially females. And just through reading, looking at health problems more and more, vet reports, case studies, egg binding in female reptiles that are kept as personal pets seems to be on the rise. The need for spaying is on the rise. The need for dealing with egg binding, especially when it is a female lizard without a male, so we have underdeveloped infertile eggs. Why does this happen? Now, I have female lizards, and as you guys know, the process of developing infertile eggs, that part is typically fine and typically the sign of a healthy female reptile. It means her reproductive system is well. It means she has enough calcium and other vitamins to make these eggs, and she's healthy enough to pass the eggs. There just happens to be no male to fertilize the eggs. That part's all natural. Great. Now, what about the egg binding itself? This is the part that is not natural and appears to be on the rise. And there doesn't seem to be... Here we go. We have Moonshadow, Sunfire, and Artemis. Now, they're all super passive. Artemis is very big, a big female. We are not completely certain on the sex of these two, although I think male, I think female. But Sunfire is, as you can see, very standoffish. He says she. They're going into big lizard mode, poofing up. Artemis, not hostile at all, just smelling. This is also important if you plan to socialize, because you want to have these encounters, and you do want them to see that, to see that there's nothing to fear, even though there's a big size difference. Now, there's a big size difference between this lizard and that lizard, but they've lived together and they're not scared of each other. So just know, I want to just make you aware of some of the behavior. And if none of these lizards are big enough where even if they were to turn mad against each other, there's not a way where they could injure each other while I'm right here. Yes, they could get into a little fight. We're not going to see an injury. The biggest thing we'd see is one gets scared, runs full speed, hits its head against the wall, and knocks itself out. Wouldn't that be interesting? So let's go back, though. The egg binding part. We used to think perhaps it was just due to weight, and maybe we were feeding them too much and they were getting too fat, and somehow maybe the fat tissue was blocking the eggs and things would get stuck. It ended up not being the case because we had skinny and then also male nourished lizards having egg binding. Okay, so that's off the table. Then we thought, okay, there must be a problem with calcium. Maybe what's happening here is the lizards are lacking in calcium. Therefore, when their body is developing the eggs, their body, which it uses a lot of calcium to do, their body then would use a lot of calcium, be deficient on calcium, and attempt to reabsorb the eggs, reabsorb the follicles to get the calcium out of them, and that would cause them to be partially reabsorbed and cause binding. Unfortunately, a lot of blood tests have disproven that as well. Look at Moonshadow running around now. So what do I personally think is going on there? I think what's going on for me is actually just a lack of exercise and movement. Now, not in terms of exercise and movement to lose weight. I don't think that's the issue. I don't think they need to get skinny. I think what it is, though, is they need to just move around. They need to keep things moving, keep things circulating. Maybe those eggs need help shaking off. The only reason I bring this up is because I've noticed with rescues I've taken in that are seemingly healthy. What are you doing? Where do you think you're going? You're going to try to escape too? Look at this pancaked guy. Seemingly healthy, but then maybe have some egg binding issues, but without the need of a vet or spaying, that exercise comes in. And I think what I've come into is it's not the nest box, because I've given nest boxes and they've been ignored. You've seen me. I've had female bearded dragons lay right on their basking platform. No dirt, no substrate. I've given them the option of substrate in their tank. They've avoided the substrate and went and laid in a completely solid area. But one thing that I've constantly done, and again, it does help maintain their weight, but also I think kept the reproductive tract healthy, especially during those times, is movement. Movement outside of the tank. Now, some people will say this, hey, I have a big tank. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You have a giant 8-foot by 4-foot by 4-foot enclosure. And what does your reptile do in that tank? It sits there. It basks. It sleeps in the water. It sleeps over here. That's it. It doesn't explore. It doesn't move around. It maybe does those things. Look at that. It maybe does those things when it's a new tank and it's new in that environment. But it doesn't do those things once it's completely settled in. Now, I have not seen egg binding with any of my lizards, and I take my lizards out. Now, granted, even if you have an outdoor enclosure, it's not the same, because your lizard is typically chilling in a spot. But if you take it outside, if you can, with a leash or in a fenced yard, and you get that lizard actually moving around, exploring, smelling new smells. I just love, who doesn't love savanna monitors? Don't you guys love this? Don't you guys want a lizard to do this? Want a lizard to just be trying to ram itself in behind you? So I take them out and put them in environments where they've not been. Now, this is hard in winter, right? So it's Michigan here. It's winter. Actually, today it's a warmer day. You know, it's in the 40s. Wow. Oh, here we go. A little bit of hissing. That's fine. Showing his big lizard. Showing his big lizard mode. That's what we want. We would consider that normal. If they did absolutely nothing the first time, then there'd be something wrong. Why would there be absolutely no fear with something new that's double your size? That's instinct. Instinct is also to protect his little friend. Look how he's checking on that. She's there. She's scared. He's there. He's made a wall. He's protect against that. Look at this. Look at this escape. Look at how smart these guys are. No hissing over here because they know each other. Hissing when this big creature, even though it's the same species, just gets close. That's what you want to see until there's friendship, until there's at least acknowledgement, until they know each other. But, so, you get that movement going. It does help control weight, but I think that movement helps with the digestive tract. I think it helps with egg binding. I think it helps with fluid retention. It just helps with overall health. Since it's winter here and we can't go outside, because as you guys know, in the spring and summer, I set up a pen. I have a fenced private backyard. We go to the park. We walk down the sidewalk. We go on adventures. Those things are there. But on the inside, I will block off different portions of my house. In this case, we're doing the hallway. What? we're doing the hallway with new scents and new smells, and sometimes I will wash the carpets, and sometimes I will vacuum the carpets before, so there's new smells. Sometimes I'll take my snakes out and have them here because savanna monitors like to hunt and eat snakes in the wild. And other times, so when I put them out here, they're on the prowl. Whether I have the black throats out here, I'll have the bearded dragons out here. I'll take out my tegu, my tortoise and turtles. I typically just let free roam the whole house. Not a big deal. Hi, Artemis. But sometimes, what are you doing up here? Hi, big girl. So getting those scents, those smells and everything, and that movement, I think is really important. And also interaction. So now you have to be careful here. I have 3 lizards that I know are at a controllable age, and I know their behavior. But I have taken out before lizards like Artemis, who's the most passive, gentle female lizard there ever is. I mean, look at this. She came and just did this because she just wants pets. Actually, a lot of the times when people come over, she taps at the glass to be held like a burping baby over the shoulder, and she will grip them. She will lay her head down, and she will just hold on, and she will be like that for 10 to 15 minutes. I mean, she's just an angel. But I don't want anything bad to happen to her. Look at that. What are we doing? What? Now you're just laying on top of each other? Great. So I think, guys, movement is really important to close this video before I always rant. And it's funny because some people will say I talk too much, and other people will say they wish the video was longer and I talked more. So, I try to set the time of the video. Look at how he's not doing the big lizard right now. Now he's doing a little bit more smelling because the scents have been going around. He hasn't been threatened. Now we're getting close. Now there could be some, again, nothing's going to happen from Artemis. You can see it in her face. She doesn't care. She's not going to harm him, but he doesn't know that. Now don't come over here again. Don't come over here again. So it's just important, guys, even in the winter, you got to get movement. You've got to get movement. That's the big deal. That's all I'm saying. Hopefully this video with me ranting, well, just with having the savanna monitors out, but this is really important for bearded dragons, for snakes. By the way, these savannas are the same age. They get fed the same amount of food. They live in the same enclosure. They eat the same. They bask the same. They just look at the size. A lot of the times the small one sleeps on top of the big one. The big one sleeps on the small one. They sleep next to each other. They sleep at opposite ends. Look at that size difference. Tell me why. Both fecals are clear, because you would think, oh, parasites and no parasites. Hey, that could be easy. Nope, there's no parasites in either. So who knows? They both get bugs. They both get meat. They're just crazy. All right, guys, take it easy. Thank you guys for supporting my reptile rescue family.